Sorry, I keep kicking her where we should be.
Cross our legs. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Or the opposites.
Hey guys, welcome to Homeschool On. I am so excited because I have my beautiful mom with me who gets to join me, and we're going to be talking a little bit about my own story being homeschooled and her perspective, because she homeschooled. We just did a wonderful take of this that we did not have sound on because we're learning. See, we're still homeschooling.
Yeah, there you go.
So what we were talking about was how long you've been doing this. So how long, now that we've done the math awkwardly, we can do it unawkwardly?
Yeah, about 25 years, 26 years of homeschooling.
25 years. You guys, my 7 years is like embarrassing next to that. You guys are coming to me for answers. Clearly, we should be asking her for answers. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about what your perspective was homeschooling. If you have a story you want to share, no pressure, just think of one really great one. Mm-hmm. And kind of what maybe you took from it, what you see as your greatest benefits of it, and that kind of thing. So if you guys are looking for some encouragement, some light at the end of the tunnel, then this video is going to be for you. So tell us, Mom. Tell us everything that we want to know.
Yeah, everything you want to know.
Give us all the answers, please.
I have 6 kids. And so the first 4 are close together, and then I had a big gap, and I had another one, and big gap, I had another one. But I chose to homeschool when my oldest was in kindergarten. I sent her to kindergarten, and I thought, I want to homeschool. I wanted the lifestyle of homeschooling. I wasn't really sure how it would all entail. My sister was homeschooling, and I liked what I saw, and I thought, I want to do that. I want to have my kids home a little longer. And I didn't start out having a great mission statement and awe-inspiring thing. I just wanted my kids home and had thought, I'll do it till grade 3, and then decided to continue and until these guys were grade 10 and 11. I think the best thing for me that came out of homeschooling was my kids. My relationship with them. They saw me, warts and all. I got to see them and really know them and discover their heart and their passions. I got to be part of that, and that was the greatest thing for me. I think that was more than a gift for me than I can even really comprehend, because now I have this relationship with these guys, and it's so real. It's so real, and I'm so proud of my kids, and I think my greatest treasure, my greatest friends really are my children. And I think for them, what I hope they got out of it, and I think looking back at them, what they really got out of homeschooling was a confidence in who they were, and that they didn't have to be just fit in with this group. They could fit in anywhere, and they could fit in with young kids and take pleasure and joy in that, and they could step up and be with my friends and adults that were there, and they could meet and be with older people, and that they knew that they had something to offer, that they had something to contribute to the world and to their community and to their church. And I think that was the biggest gift that they received out of homeschooling.
I think one of the ways that kind of developed in us was because that you were really intentional about getting us involved in our communities. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
We started early on. We really loved music. Our kids were very musical, especially the girls pursued it. In getting them to go once a month to a seniors place. My parents had done it with me. I was not homeschooled, but my parents dragged me along once a month on a Sunday afternoon. We went to a seniors complex. And so I did that with the kids, and they got to build confidence in performing and in doing things, but it became so much more for them than that. And they got to talk to the seniors and interact with the seniors. They also were involved in church. They also helped other families with their younger kids in just looking after them and helping around the house and learning to do things. And although they didn't necessarily like to do all those things, when they were finished, they felt very accomplished. They felt, wow, I'm important. I have something to contribute, and I am of value. And I think it's the greatest way to help your kids find value is to allow them to serve.
Yeah, that's good. And you guys, if you're sitting there and you're like, as far as seeing that fruit in your kid's life, and we're talking about that confidence, one of the greatest things, I say that too. When people ask me, what do you think was one of the greatest benefits of being homeschooled? Absolutely, I think my confidence comes from that. But I think that when we put our kids in school, what ends up happening, and even sharing my husband's experiences with school and my experience being homeschooled, is that when you are going to school, you're kind of always trying to figure out who everybody wants you to be. You're trying to be cool. You're trying to be liked. You're trying to perform well so that teacher will give you a good grade. Everybody is expecting some of you, and you spend so much time just trying to be who they want you to be instead of figuring out who you really are. And I think with homeschooling, I had the time, the space, and the permission to find out who I really was. And when my mom says warts and all, I mean, I could have a bad day. I could be grumpy. I had to figure out for myself who I was, what I was interested in, what I was passionate in, and I had the space and the environment to do that and for that to really grow and develop. So that now, I think that gave me such a leg up going into adulthood, is that I wasn't all of a sudden kicked out into the real world with no idea of who I was. I knew who I was. I knew my gifts, I knew my strengths, I knew my interests. And so it gave me such a head start, I think. So yeah. Huge benefit.
And the world has changed, and I know homeschooling has changed, even in the laws of it and how much curriculum is out there and what's expected of you versus what was expected of me, but in homeschooling. But I still come back to that thing of that your kids need to know their value. And often we just want to tell them their value. You're really good at this. And positive words are good, but when they do something, when they are put in a place of doing that thing, then they recognize they're good at it and that they have something of value to offer, and they are an integral part of community, of family, of church, because they are contributing. And kids don't like it. I mean, nobody likes to do dishes, but even in knowing they do dishes or ironing or baking bread, she started baking bread. She made amazing bread. Then she you just don't have time anymore. But then she knew that she had something to contribute and that it was something off of my plate. And so don't expect them to necessarily joyfully want to do it, but when they do, when they go to that senior's home and they shake hands at the end of it, they know that those seniors really appreciated it and that they had words of encouragement for those.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So homeschooling, 25 plus years. When you look back to who you were when you just brand new started this, this is kind of one of those deep questions that it's almost like you need time to kind of process. I don't know if you've thought of this, but what would you tell yourself? What would you tell a brand new homeschool mom just starting out if you had to prioritize the most important thing?
Oh, the most important thing.
I know, there's like a list. She could write you a list.
Yeah, I could write you a list. I'm really good. I like lists. That's where she gets it from. I think to really enjoy it and to not necessarily sweat the small stuff. I know from reading some of the comments and things on Rebecca's Homeschool On page that some of you get really focused on the details of school, and those are important, and I know that there's expectations that are there, and some of them are unrealistic. The school does not do that. I've been in the school. I know that inside the school the expectations are not the same, but to allow yourself to really enjoy it, and to probably the biggest thing that I would recommend is make a mission statement, something that'll ground you the whole year. I didn't do it the first year, but I was only homeschooling one. I did it every year after that. I put a plan together of the big picture, And what did I want to concentrate on, what my kids believe, whether it was about God, which 90% of mine was, what stories did I really want them to know? What did I want them to capture about God? What did I want to inspire in each of the kids? Where were they needing motivation and inspiration? And what did I want them to experience, kind of thing? And then I just picked my curriculum around that kind of thing, but to really enjoy it and to know that the big picture, the other stuff are just tools to make the big picture happen. And I think that would be my main thing of saying it, is just enjoy it. It's an amazing time.
Yeah, absolutely. And not getting so caught up in what you think it should look like. You're going to figure out what it's going to look like. And it's going to look different for you than it does for everybody else that's out there, because you're unique. And so we get so caught up in what is it supposed to look like? What are they supposed to learn? Somebody tell me, somebody give it to me. And yet when we can just enjoy the process, figure it out as we go, you're going to find that for yourself. And your confidence in your ability to do this is going to grow. So I encourage you guys with that. All right, so we have a whole series of these we're going to be doing, and I have a whole bunch of different questions I'm going to be asking my mother. So if you want to hear more sage wisdom from somebody who's been there, done that, check back, hit subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't miss one of these videos, because I really hope they're going to be encouraging and helpful in your journey. So have an amazing week and keep calm and homeschool on.